Evening. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Alison. Hi, Renee. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Millie. Hi, Wendy. Oh, it's not straight. Still not straight. Straight now. Or maybe my camera's not straight. Who knows? Hi, Jen. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, is it what? Do you know, it's been quite warm here. The sun is so bright at the moment. It's we really need to get this room that we're in sorted out, because we're currently using a blanket for a curtain because we didn't have curtains because I didn't want them, and now it's too bright. Yeah, but where's the blind gone?
I don't know.
No, me neither. Anyway.
Any road.
Hi, Jen.
25
Other
degrees.
Jen. Jennifer. Guess what happened today? My first Graphic 45 brand ambassador box came. Ooh. And I've made a video which Mark thinks is funny.
I like it.
So I'll put it up so you can see it. Hi, Karen. Hi, Carol.
It's an unboxing video.
It's an unboxing video, which I've never done before. I don't know who made that word up. Whatever. Anyway, not going to take too long tonight, but I better talk to you before we do it so that I can explain my thinking. So in our big folio, what we've got here is one of my favourite things ever, which is this. Oh, what a good picture on Facebook. That makes a nice change. Is a waterfall. Now, I've made this waterfall a bit bigger. Normally, you know, like the 6x4, aren't they? But this one is for a 7x5 photo. So you could either just have a 7x5 landscape, or you could put a 6x4 in the middle of it and use some of your pattern paper, or you could put some smaller ones on and arrange. Anyway, what I'm saying is there's loads of space. Okay. Oh, good, Lorraine. I'm glad your Jubilee kit's got there. Right. So, but this is one of my favourite things to make. Okay. And if you pull this bit of your waterfall here, look, it's like magic. I don't know why I love these so much, but I do. I just love them. And they are so easy to make. So easy. So that's what we're going to make tonight. Now, I've got one here, but I've also... Oh, hang on. I'm making a right pig's ear with this. I've also got one here. Okay. Now, if you're just making this as a folio in its own right, this doesn't matter. You can put your 2 waterfalls at either end, just like I have. However, if you are making the full Box of Delights project, i.e. this folio to go with the 2 little folios inside the box, this makes it, in my opinion, a tad too thick. It still fits perfectly well, but I'd just rather have it a little bit looser. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make one waterfall to go into this project. So that's what we're going to do tonight. But then instead of the other waterfall, what we'll do, and we'll look at that next week, is I'm just going to do a very simple pocket and something or other, okay, so that it's less thick. Because if you have a look here, there is quite a lot of thickness that goes into one of these waterfalls here. So I think one is adequate, if that makes sense. So let me roll this up, put it back together, and I will show you how to make them. They are so easy. If you haven't made one before, please don't be scared by it, because it's really easy to make. So I had a bit of a tidy up earlier, which means, needless to say, I can't find anything. So let me just grab what I think I need. Oh, not you. So there's my folio so far, because of course I haven't decorated mine. But I'm going to grab some cardstock, and I've got about 6 different lots of black cardstock in here, but I want this one. Do I? No, I don't actually. I don't know which one I want. This one. Yeah. No, that's different again. Oh, why is black cardstock so difficult? That's one. Oh, that's 12 by 12. Oh, I'm just going to make it in a different black. It doesn't matter. Mine's just for making purposes. Okay, so how many am I cutting, Mark? I can't remember. Is it 6?
Yeah.
I'm going to cut 6 at 5 1/8 by 7 1/8. And the reason that they've got the extra 1/8 of an inch on is because then we've got that little kind of like cardstock reveal around the outside of a 7 by 5 photo. So I am going to cut 6 at 5 1/8 by 7 1/8. So if I take my A4 card and I cut that at 7 1/8, then I'm going to cut these at 5 1/8. Okay, so I can get 2 out of each piece of cardstock. Okay, so there's.
She's supposed to be packing for a 2-day retreat, but instead she's watching you.
Oh, quite right. Oh, it's always really hard to pack, though, isn't it? I think just no, you can never be quite sure what you want to take, and then you always take the wrong stuff anyway. I'm terrible. Even for our day crop, my Jum said that I packed really well for our day crop last week. Was it last week? Was it the week before? It was last week. It was last week. And I didn't do a darn thing. All I did was talk and chat all through the crop. Thank you, dear. Okay, so 6 at 5 1/8 by 7 1/8. Now, if you want to, you can round your corners, but only round 2. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my corner rounder, and I'm just going to round 2. So I'm going to round that one, and I'm going to round that one. So I'm not doing that side. I'm only doing that one side. Okay. So I'm just rounding 2 corners. What was that?
Oh, somebody missed the bin.
Oh, you threw something?
Yeah.
I thought it was the cats. Okay, so I'm just going to round those corners, seeing as we're here.
Oh, no.
And then we'll cut the other bits that we need. Okay, so I've rounded those corners. Huh? No, I think it was me.
Oh.
And now Mark's gone off and I don't know what the sizes are. I do actually. So I want to cut the next piece. I want to cut it at 7 1/8.
That's correct.
By 11 1/2.
That is.
Oh, I'm good at this. By 11 1/2. Okay. And then I need to cut 2 more pieces, which are 11 1/2 by 1 1/2.
Yes.
I wish I could remember all of my measurements. Okay, so 11 1/2 by 1 1/2. And then 5 by 1 1/2. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well done there. It's all songs then. Ignore that one if you want.
Okay. Right. So let's grab our scoreboards. Oops. And I have no idea where my embossing tool is. That's interesting, actually, because I typed, oh, there it is, hiding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score on this big piece. So if you remember, piece is 11 1/2 by 7 1/8, and I'm going to score on the 11 1/2 inch side. So that means that 11 1/2 inches goes at the top of my scoreboard, okay? And I'm going to score at 1 inch 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3.5. Is that right?
That is right.
That's good. So I've scored on the 11.5-inch side at 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5 inches. Okay. Then the only other piece that we have to score is this piece, which was 11.5 by 1.5. We're going to score again on the 11.5-inch side, and I have no idea what we're scoring at.
Is it 3 and 10 and a quarter?
That would be about right. And now this is the bit that I'm not sure whether I've got right. So we're going to score at 3, and we're going to score at 10 and a quarter. Let me just double check. That looks spot on. God, I'm good at this.
It's about 7 and a quarter.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Probably been 8 and an inch on the second one.
Okay, so what I need to do now is get my bone folder. And all of these scores here on this big piece that was 7 1/8 by 11.5, I am going to fold on each of these score lines, and I'm going to burnish, and I'm going to fold them all the same way. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm folding on the score line, and I'm burnishing. Okay, so folding on that score line and burnishing. Okay, and then we've got this 1-inch gap left there. So I've got a kind of a curl, for want of a better description here. Okay, and all will become apparent. Oh, I'm looking on the wrong thing. Hang on. Right. Hi, Anne. Hi, Kari. That's probably because we're in crafting together tonight. I get confused as to where we are as well, to be honest. Right, so, okay, so we've got these kind of curly things here. I'll just go over it again, because it does help if you have quite sharp creases, because when we first make this, it's going to be a little bit stiff, but use will make it floppy. Oh, God. We need to make good use of it so that it goes floppy. Anyway, there we go. So I have scored on all of those little score lines that we did. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Now I'm laying this down, and I've got this big piece here that hasn't got any score lines on it. And then here, these are my score lines. Okay. And I'm going to start with this one here. That is the inch score line, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to try and unclog it.
And ask, where did you buy your bone folder?
From my shop.
I will link it.
The term of endearment for these bone folders is we in my group we call this a big boner, because it's a big bone folder. I will introduce you this year to the lady that coined that phrase at some point. But this is a big boner, and I also have a smaller one which I've lost somewhere, and that's my little boner. So big boner. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some glue, she says, hopefully, onto this card here, right at the edge, up to that score line. So up to where that 1-inch mark is there. Okay, so you can see that, yep. And I'm going to take my first of these pieces, which were our unscored 7 1/8 by 5 1/8 pieces. Okay, and I am going to lie it down on top of where I've glued up to that score line. Okay, right, like that. So it looks like it's an extension of this piece. So I've got all of my score lines, and then I've got that piece there. Okay, so it's glued on. All right. Now, the next piece, I'm going to put some glue on in between the next 2 score lines, up to where the top of that score line is, this glue will not go anywhere near that piece that I've just put on. So this glue is simply between those 2 score lines that I've got there. Okay, I'm going to take my next piece and I'm going to lie it down on top of where I've put the glue. I'm going to make sure that it goes up to where that score line is and that it sits really nicely on top of the piece that I put there before. So that has now glued on just where between those score lines, okay? And that all lines up. So you can see here, I've got my 2 pages, my 2 sort of photo mats, and these are offset from each other, okay? We're going to do the same again. So I'm going to put some glue in between the next 2 score lines up to where the top score line is, okay? But only there, nowhere near this piece that I've already put on. So away from that, only simply between those next 2 score lines. I'm going to take my next piece. Susie, I'm using Sticks too. It's a British company, you'll be delighted to hear. And I use their 3D PVA, which you can also get in our shop, actually. They do a couple of sorts of glues, but this is my particular favourite for bookmaking because you get a little bit of wriggle time with it, but it's really strong. And it's archival safe. I just like it. It's nice and thick and creamy. Okay, so now I've put my next piece on, so you can see that that lines up here. Okay, like that. What are you doing now?
I'll put the link to the bound folder up for some reason.
Well, you needed to do that as well. That was right. You're on. You're spot on.
Yeah, but I'd already put that on.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, never mind. Bone folder is very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going on there like that. And then glue between the next set of score lines. So as you can see, we're only putting the glue between the score lines on that original 11.5 inch by 7 1/8 inch piece, okay? It doesn't go onto any of these. It only goes onto that original piece. So now I'm sticking that up to where the score line is. Okay, so you can see we've got all of our pieces here like this, and we've still got 2 to go. So same procedure as last year. Glue up to that top score line. Pop that on top there, like that. Line it up. Glue that down. And now I want to take my final piece and I'm going to do exactly the same. So glue up to my very last score line. I'm going to take my card. This is my last photo mat and I'm going to stick that onto the top of that score line, just up to the top of the score line, not over it, just up to it like that. So what I've got now is this weird piece that's got all of these photo mats stuck to it like that, okay? And as you can see, they're offset by 1/2 inch from each other because that was the 1/2 inch gap that we left. Hi, Mary. All right, so we've got this piece now that does that. So let's fold that like that. Now you can see that we've got our waterfall ready to go, okay? But what we need to do now is to make sure that we can attach it easily to our page. So while I'm here, I'm going to just make a couple of rounded corners there. Oops. And now I'm going to take this piece. If you remember, this is the longer piece. I'm going to fold on those score lines like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this back up again. And I am going to glue this to the very bottom, almost, just above the rounded corner. of where the back of that first photo mat is. Okay, so I'll just show you. If I put some glue onto that onto the back of that piece there, okay, so ignore these flaps, but this is now going to sit on the back of that first photo mat. Now it's slightly wider than the photo mat, that's what we want. Okay, but just put it so it's in the middle, and you've got those two flaps, and this is attached to the back of that very first photo mat that we put on. Okay, so when you fold this over and you put your tabs round the back, okay, so it looks like that from the front, and then you've got your tabs on the back like that. This piece is very simply to glue across here so that you get a whole line. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue on there like that, and I'm just going to stick that down. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be tidy, because you're never going to see this. Okay, right, so turn it over, and what I've got is my photo mats. They're all ready to go, and then I've got this bit at the bottom, which is the pulley bit. Okay, so when I pull it, it's going to move. Now, to stick it into my book, which I've lost, here we go. Let me just get the page I'm going to put it on. I really should have decorated this up and then everything wouldn't fall out. So I'm going to put this on the back of my page 1, okay? So it's going to sit there, right in the middle of my of this page. So what you'll need to do first is put some pattern paper on this page here. Okay, that's the easiest way to go about doing that. So put your pattern paper on, just flat mat this, and then put some glue onto the back of that, I don't know how to describe it, that band, yeah, there. So this is just on this band that we've made. Okay, you're only going to put your glue on there. Then pop this on your page whereabouts you want it to go. Okay, like that. Let's just stick that down. Straight would be good.
Yeah.
And then it would probably be a good idea to put a tab on this, actually. You can just pull that bottom bit there, and you see it is gonna get stuck to start with. But once it gets used to moving, it'll be just fine. Okay, I'm going to put a tab on there. So let's just have a look. Okay, so to cut a tab, let's just cut that probably about, what is it, 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut it at 2.5. Let's fold that in half. Burnish it.
Jen says, so glue your strap on.
Yes.
Said with a laughy face.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Glue your strap on.
Yeah. Now I'm just rounding the corners across where the fold is. Okay, so it looks like that. And I'm just going to put some glue. And I'm going to just pull that a minute, and then I'll stick this right in the middle. I think that's about the middle. It's difficult to see when I'm not looking straight down on it. Okay, so now we've got a pulley tab for our waterfall. Okay, easy. And then you can decorate that up. Now with mine, I just put white card on it because that's where I'd put photos. Okay, so it's just white photo mats on there, but you can put pattern paper on, you can put whatever you like. All right. So that is how to put one together, and they are so easy. And that's taken us how long? Half an hour.
25.
Oh dear. And that was all I wanted to do tonight. So it's entirely up to you. Yes, it's all we are doing tonight. So it's entirely up to you. You know, whether you want to put 2 of these on. Oh, keeps getting stuck. Whether you want to put 2 of these on, or whether you want to wait and put one of the what do you call them? Pockets. That's the word. Onto the other one. Entirely up to you. But like I said, it does get quite thick. There we go. So that was a quick class, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
Bedtime.
Yeah, bedtime. So there you go. I hope you've had a go. It's ever so easy to put together. It really, really is. I don't know why it's so easy. It just really is. So enjoy. Make 2 if you want to put 2 in. And we will see you back here next week, which is I don't know what the date is, but we'll see you back here next Thursday, and we will take a look at, I've lost my book again. We'll take a look at this next page, which is this one that's got a pull-out sort of pagey photo matty thing and a little pocket on the front there as well. Okay, so that's what we'll have a look at next week. And then there's a flap underneath with the big pocket. All right, then, have a great week, everybody. I'm sorry that was such a short class. I didn't quite expect it would be that short, but there we go. And we will see you back here next Thursday. Take care, have a good week, and I'll do go and have a look at my YouTube channel for this unboxing video, which I'll put up now. Might take an hour or 2 to upload, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, then, everybody, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Oh.